And we're live. Oh, that took a little bit. Didn't know if it was going to go. All right. Hi, everybody. So we started doing a little thing recently. We are geeked, did an amazing job on it last week. We're going to try and weekly do a Ask Admin, a Q&A. We're going to take questions from the Facebook page. We've got more than enough admins to do it. So this week, me and Mike are going to take our shot at it. Mike, you want to pick the first question from the Facebook group?
Sure. This one comes from Gerald Jermaine Morrison. So what's your opinion on this year's WWE Royal Rumble? I haven't really watched wrestling in a long time, so I'm not sure if I can answer this properly.
Man, I used to watch the last time I watched wrestling religiously was the first time that Brock Lesnar was a big thing. That was a long time ago. I do work with a guy that does watch wrestling currently, and he did tell me that the actual title was on the line in the Rumble this time instead of the title shot for WrestleMania, so that was different. And Triple H won, so I really don't got an opinion on that. I thought it was cool that they changed it up. Sorry, I do plan on trying to get back into it because he keeps telling me every week what happens, and I used to be what all me and my cousins did, but sorry, some of these we might not have answers for because we don't have all the same interests, but to the best of our abilities, a good chunk of these are going to be able to answer. So let's see. Who do we got next? Luke Robinson asked, other than Star Wars Rebels, are there any cartoons that are currently on air that you like watching? Well, for anyone that can see my shirt, I am quite the fan of Ruby and RVB, which RVB is more of a machinima, but Ruby I watch quite a bit. Every other cartoon that I do watch gets canceled or a crappier version of it gets made because they felt like getting rid of the other one. Young Justice, Teen Titans. But that's me. I have a collection that I'm actually building for when I have children of 90s cartoons, but those aren't current. So, Mike, what do you got?
Right now, currently, the only one I'm keeping up with is Star Wars Rebels. But every once in a while, I'll when I'm bored, I'll watch clips of Adventure Time. Rick and Morty is something everyone's been telling me to get into.
Me as well.
Let's see what else. Like I said, Rebel is the only one I'm currently focused on. But there's a lot that are on my to-do list, like Gravity Falls, Steven Universe. I tried getting into Ruby. I saw the entire first season and it was excellent.
Yes.
I kind of dropped off though, just because the wait in between seasons was a little too long. I did kind of forget about it.
Yeah, that's the thing when you've got, I wouldn't call Rooster Teeth a small production company, but as far as making actual content at the basis that they do, they make a hell of a lot with very little. So the wait is a bit. I understand that completely. Yeah, I've got nothing else. Mike, if you want to pick your next one.
Okay, what do we got next? This is just a funny one from Wes Ball. Can you see why kids love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Yes, I can, because it is, I don't care what anyone says, is the best, bar none, ever created breakfast cereal on the face of the earth. I will fight anyone that says otherwise.
I liked French Toast Crunch. That was the 1 month that was available. I just enjoyed the hell out of that.
It's good.
But that is good stuff.
Yeah. That's one thing that I could eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch every meal of the day, but that's because I'm a little bit obsessed with cereal. But favorite actor or actress of all time, coming from Jacob Lee Fisher. Currently that's still alive, because if the tragedy of sad events that hadn't happened last year with Robin Williams, I would have said him. But currently alive for an actor is probably, wow, now his name, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
And actress, Julianne Moore, I think.
Good choice.
Yeah. How about you, Mike?
Okay. Actor, I can't just name one. I have to name like a couple of them. Of all time, you got to go with like the standard answers: Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Leonardo DiCaprio. But I think right now my favorite is Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Ooh.
Just because every movie that I've seen him in, like, has been at the very least good. He does an incredible job picking projects. As far as actresses go, this one's a little bit tougher because I don't have a single favorite actress. I have a bunch of names that I like. I do like Julianne Moore.
Mm-hmm.
I like Kate Winslet, Brie Larson, Jennifer Lawrence. Some people are saying she's kind of overrated, but honestly, she does have talent. It's just I will admit she does get a little bit too much exposure.
Yeah, I will agree on that. Another one, she's not in a whole lot, but anything that Anna Kendrick shows up in, I absolutely love Anna Kendrick.
If I did have that one name, it would be Anna Kendrick. There was a period over the summer where I was just like obsessed with like just watching all of the movies she's been in minus Twilight.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Man, she's good in everything. Like even the little, well, I shouldn't say little role. It was littler compared to Gemma's role, but in The Voices with Ryan Reynolds, she was great in that movie.
I love that movie. I love her character in it.
Yeah, that movie is just. I was a little late on the train for The Voices, but that's a trip and a half. That marketing for that movie.
Oh God.
Whoo! There's a whole lot more to it.
That movie is basically Ryan Reynolds' re-audition for Deadpool.
Yeah.
My favorite performance from Anna Kendrick remains to this day her role in Up in the Air.
Yeah.
And that movie is just one of my favorites of all time.
It is very, very good. Yes, it is. All right. What else do we got? I think it is your turn, I think.
Yes. Okay, I know this. A lot of people are going to get asked this question. This one comes from Tony Sin. If you could see a movie for any DC character and one for any Marvel character, who would it be? Now we have to include some sort of caveat for the Marvel character. Is it just MCU, or are we talking like across the board?
I'm talking across the board.
All right.
So, and also, no, Tony, I will not do your homework. I went through a whole entire 12 years of school and 4 years of college. I am far past doing anyone's homework. As far as DC, I swear you and me have talked about this on the Arrow After Show before. I want a freaking Stargirl movie so bad. I don't know who the villain would be, but I just love that character.
Under one condition, it has to be called Stars and Stripes.
Stars and Stripes, yes. And on one other, for as far as DC goes, Huntress, Earth 1 Huntress, Earth 2 I suppose could work too, but Earth 1 Huntress, and go kind of, what I really would like to see is more of the Justice League cartoon with her being in a relationship with the Question.
Oh, that would be so good.
Movie would be amazing. Oh, that movie would be so good. Man, Marvel. My one for the longest time was Deadpool, and I'm getting it. So you go through yours, and I gotta try and think of another one.
Okay, DC. Let's think about this for a moment. I know. Coming in the spring of 2016, we're getting an animated Justice League versus Teen Titans movie, and that trailer looks pretty sweet.
Yeah,
but somewhere down the line, I want like to the best of their ability, an adaptation of the Judas Contract. For those that don't know, the Judas Contract was, if anyone has seen the Teen Titans or the original Teen Titans animated series, they kind of did a version of the Judas Contract with Tara joining the Teen Titans and having their big conflict with Deathstroke. If they can find a way to pull that off in live action, I would be so happy. There was talks at one point for that to be an animated movie, to come out around like 2006, 2007. But the plans for that kind of fell through, and I've been pretty disappointed. But thank God we're at least getting the other animated movie coming out. As far as Marvel goes, I actually have two answers. One for like MCU or maybe possibly a Netflix series, Moon Knight, because Moon Knight is a great character that deserves some sort of adaptation.
Now I got to think of another one because that was one I was going to say. Go on.
And for Fox, I think once the X-Men, this new X-Men universe gains a bit more momentum, I'd like to see a Nightcrawler solo film. That's not a bad idea. Because he's one of those characters that is just so interesting on his own. Also, I want Chris Claremont involved in some capacity, whether it's executive producer or co-writer on the script. As long as he's involved, that would be awesome.
Okay, I've got two for Fox. One, it's kind of because they're pretty much doing it, or they said that Apocalypse kind of renders it null and void. I would like to see an X-Force movie because it's my excuse that I'm finally going to get to see a live-action version of Domino. And a Fantastic Four movie not made by Fox.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be an MCU movie.
Just not Fox.
Just not Fox. They've tried so much. They get such a good equation, and they bone me every time.
Yeah, Do you remember this at this time last year when you and I were like, "Oh, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be the good one."
That's because it really should have been. It really, really should have been. When you gank off your director 3/4 of the way through, people can say it didn't happen, but when you watch that movie, it shows hardcore that someone changed direction. But yeah. And one other for DC, I kind of might have said it a little, not with the Hunters. I would like to see above 18, because I kind of agree with Campia, later down the line, a full-fledged, in a movie, I want to see a throwdown with at least like 4 to 5 different Bat Family members just taking out a squadron of like 30 people in good succession. Imagine the church scene from Kingsman, but they're not killing them. They're just going to town.
That would be a great scene. Just having all of the Bat Family taking out, like, say Falcone and Maroni, like team up and just bum rush the family with like everyone. Either that, or they're having some dispute and the Bat Family just shuts it down, where they have both of their things about to go at it, and they did. I'm getting excited. It's not going to happen ever. But okay, I actually have one more DC one as well. this is kind of cheating because it's kind of been floating in development, but I would like Justice League Dark, but I want it to be the sequel to Suicide Squad.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, think about it. Enchantress is already kind of. Well, I don't know if she's a member of the squad, but she's in the movie.
He reads her part as that listing too. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, her backstory, somewhat, I'm assuming, will already have been established enough in Suicide Squad, and she can kind of be like the bridge between like two completely different teams.
Yeah, and they kind of show her still as when she's June Moon, because they show her with like a hard hat and like climber gear doing something. I'm thinking that's might be when she gets possessed. So that definitely could be. I will save Mike to answer the one from Corey Dempsey. What is your favorite animated film of all time? My non-Disney one is Fern Gully. And Disney, man, it's Aladdin. I don't know. Anything that involves Robin Williams other than robots that's animated, I just can't get enough of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you have the genie and then you have Batty, which is a cosmetically experimented on deranged bat. I don't know how much more of a Robin Williams character you can make in an animated film than that. It's just what it is. How about you?
Okay. I'll start with the honorable mentions, and then I'll get to the answer that probably everyone on Facebook already knows.
Oh, I know. You've told me many times.
Yeah. Let's see. Honorable mentions. On the non-Disney side, we got the Lego Movie, How to Train Your Dragon 1 and 2, The Iron Giant, fantastic movie and fantastic performance from Vin Diesel as the title character. Let's see what else. There's a lot of. If anyone knows me, you know I'm a huge animation buff. Recently, the Peanuts movie completely blew me away when I saw that. As both an animation fan and a fan of the Peanuts comics, I was completely in love with what director Steve Martino did. On the Disney side, counting Disney and Pixar, again, Inside Out for a more recent movie. That's like just below the Toy Story films in terms of quality for Pixar. That is some high quality family entertainment. There's also Up, Ratatouille, The Incredibles, the best Fantastic Four movie we're ever gonna get.
Pretty much.
A lot of the Don Bluth stuff I love, I adore. Like The Secret of Nim, The Land Before Time.
The Owls and Secret of Nim haunted me when I was younger.
There's a lot of stuff that's haunting in Don Bluth films. It's like they were rocking they were pretty much rocking Pixar's motif of, or Pixar's philosophy of emotionally scarring the audience long before Pixar.
Yeah.
Okay, now we'll get to actually answering the question. For my favorite non-Disney movie, it's got to be The Prince of Egypt. I mean, it's got everything I love in it. It's got the incredible score by Hans Zimmer, still one of my favorites of his of all time. Music written by Steven Schwartz, and just the animation. This was right after Ants was released, and they had a little moment when they were doing 2D animated films, and this was like pretty much almost Disney quality, except more kind of adult oriented.
Mhm.
And just like those scenes, especially the one with the burning bush, are just absolutely breathtaking. I wish I could find that movie on Blu-ray, because it deserves like a bigger audience than it has. And finally, my favorite Disney film of all time, Aladdin is in the top 5, and it's one I literally watch every year. I've ever since like about 5 years ago, even before Robin Williams passed, I always had this yearly tradition where I would watch Aladdin just on a whim. But my number one has to be Beauty and the Beast. It's not the most original story per se, especially not for Disney. But it's just the most well done of the Disney princess formula. It's got the best music, the most memorable characters. Half of them aren't even human. Well, they are, except they aren't. Well, if you know the story, then you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a story that works in almost all mediums. As much as I love the animated movie, I love the musical even more. And those two combined are what have had me excited for the live action film that's coming out next year.
Yes. Also, it's from Ben Hendren. Sorry, buddy, I didn't say your name. I just read off the question. All right, what do you got?
Let's see. This is from Alex Sanchez. Who should be the villain for the Wonder Woman solo film?
I've got 3. Who do you got?
This is a little bit tough, because we know that part of the film takes place in World War One, and I'm trying to think of like potential villains that were around that point in the DCU. For now, I'm just gonna say my default answer is Ares, because anything connecting Wonder Woman to Greek mythology just makes the most logical sense for her first outing, like on the big screen.
Yeah, and the part that would make this a lot easier if we knew how much time was going to be spent in each era that she's in.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't have as much information to answer this question outside of like character drafting.
Yeah, but I'll kind of take it in. I'll give you my honest answer for what I think is going to be in there and what I would like. As far as this movie, I think it's going to be Ares, because fueling war, some things of just whatever, it makes it more powerful when conflict is around. So being in World War One, leading through whatever, that could be it. Cersei, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone would expect me to say not Cheetah, but I was never a huge fan of Cheetah, except for in a couple of animated films. The character I never sprung with me, but I would love to see them take a crack at Giganta.
Ooh, that would be a good one.
I just give it a shot. Fighting a giant, or it would be different. That's what I think it could be done all right.
You know what? If those pictures that we've seen from Batman v Superman are leading up to, say, Darkseid and other people from Apocalypse.
The Furies?
The Furies is one. I was thinking like maybe like second tier Apocalypse villains like Desaad or Granny Goodness.
Or what is that? Balak? No.
Yeah. Calabac.
Calabac, yeah, that's it. Yeah, all those second tier weirdos that you'd never see otherwise.
Like if we're going to start off like the phase one of the DCU, if we're gonna start off right out the gate with Apocalypse stuff, Wonder Woman would be the perfect place to kind of to just sow the seeds.
Yes, that would be very good. And as far as, since we're on the subject, Ben also again is asking Gal Gadot, yes or no? I'm not going to answer that question until I see it, because I've seen Miracle's work before, give or take. She has very, very little, but I've seen people work wonders with little. So I'm going to wait until the movie comes out, or at least until I see an actual trailer before I answer that. But I'm not saying no as of the moment. I'm not saying yes either, but I'm going more with the or.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same boat, but the optimist in me is leaning 51% towards yes and 49% towards no. I'm aiming a little bit more towards the positive, because first off, it's too late to change things now. They've production on Wonder Woman has already started. So that must mean that the people behind Batman v Superman had to have liked her performance in that movie. So I'm leaning a little bit more towards yes. Also, I know looks aren't important in the grand scheme of things, but damn it, she looks like Wonder Woman.
Yeah, so before everyone gets on her case, she's not built like a tank. Guess what? Neither is Wonder Woman in most of the times when she's drawn, and her strength doesn't come from her being jacked. She doesn't work out to get super strength. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Also, Linda Carter, about the same size, if not smaller.
Yes. But enough about that. What else do we got? I think I picked that last one.
This is another one from Alex Sanchez. Ultimate guilty pleasure movie.
I've got a tirade of answers for that, so I will let you go first.
I'll start off with the last one I saw in theaters. Dirty Grandpa. I never actually reviewed this movie. I just did an editorial for why I think Zac Efron is a good actor. But about the movie, honest, objectively speaking, it's a terrible movie. None of the events actually make sense. The screenplay is stupid, vulgar, borderline insensitive. It's racist, homophobic, sexist.
You didn't get a big kick out of Robert De Niro trying to score with Aubrey Plaza?
That the scene itself had me rolling, but it could go down as one of the most offensive movies for anyone who gets easily offended. But that being said, as a comedy, it's right on that same line as my other biggest guilty pleasure, Grandma's Boy. Grandma's Boy, I love that movie, even though it is a happy mess in production. Even though it's got everything that's kind of wrong with the mid 2000s gross out humor comedies, all those raunchy comedies from 2002 to 2008. It's got basically everything that you'd see on regular rotation on Comedy Central. But there's just something about it that just puts a smile on my face every time. maybe it's because there's a little bit of a geek factor to it. I mean, the fact that they all work at a gaming development company, and also I forget the actor who plays like the character who the one who looks like Kylo Ren.
Oh man.
It's been a while since I've seen this movie.
I've not seen that movie in, I think, since the weekend it came out. So I have no help.
Yeah, but that guy, he's one of my favorites because he's one of those characters who's pathetic but in a likable way.
Gotcha.
And then there's of course the main character, Alan Covert, whose grandma is Raymond's mother from Everyone Loves Raymond. And pretty much all the scenes that she had with her friends were pretty much the highlights of the movie.
Yeah, she was really good in it.
Yeah.
What
are you? Have you thought of any?
Oh no, I don't. Oh, Michael, me with bad movies.
Okay. Oh yeah, you are the king of bad movies.
Oh yeah, I take quite pleasure in them.
Well, but before we start, are we both on the same page with The Room?
You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Oh hi, Michael. Oh man. That movie, everyone is like, it's the standard to say that movie's bad, but that movie is bad. When they're making a movie about how bad your movie is, and the people that were in the bad movie are appearing in that movie acknowledging how bad that movie is, that's bad. Because Tommy Wiseau's in The Disaster Artist.
Oh, that's going to be great.
But another one, before I get to my kind of game I made out of watching bad movies, another one where they apologize for how bad the movie is in the special features for the movie is Batman and Robin.
Oh, I had such a blast watching this a couple years ago with my friends. We did a bad movie night, which did kind of result in me discovering my least favorite film of all time, Felix the Cat, the movie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But the good news is, before that was Batman and Robin, and after that was Plan 9 from Outer Space. I had to get the classic one out of the. I had to get down the classic one.
But yeah, do yourself. I won't go into it because everyone else has. But just go watch. It's on YouTube. I will put the link in the description for this video for the special features of Batman and Robin. But anyways, me, my youth pastor, and one of my best friends, Brian, we got a 20-inch snowstorm in Wisconsin where I live. We get it. It was for a while, it was once a year, but we haven't gotten it the past few. And we wanted to collectively find a movie at our family video in Medford, Wisconsin, which is around 3,000 people, so it's not very big, that we have not all collectively seen, that we wanted to see. And that bombed. Then we said, let's pick an actor and then find a random movie involving them. That bombed. So then we said, let us look for the worst cover art for a movie we've seen in our lives, and we'll pick that. And I found the worst Photoshop I've ever seen of a Komodo dragon and a giant cobra on an island. And it said Komodo versus Cobra. The plot for this movie is this Greenpeace goes to an island to investigate illegal actions, and they end up finding out that they're supersizing crops to feed, I want to say, illegal soldiers, but it was something else. And the Komodos and the Cobras on this island start eating the crops, and they grow to gigantic sizes, and they fight each other. In this movie, they swear, but it's censored by a most free use parrot noise you've ever heard in your entire life. I thought it was just something in the wild that happened when they did it, but then they were inside a bunker underground and this noise still happened. But that began a tradition that of us looking for the worst possible movies ever that involve creature violence. Yes, that was a reason why they get these ratings. And that's what I found out about oh man, I can't. It's not Anchor Bay. It's something Bay that they come up with all these bad creature movies. But the one, and we would make bets at the beginning of the movie how many people are going to be killed by the creature, and which main cast member was going to survive, and who was going to be off first. But the worst one that resulted of that, and you said your least favorite movie of all time. I had to almost chain down Brian to finish watching this movie. Birdemic Shock and Terror.
Oh, that one stinks.
They shot that movie with a ham sandwich. I don't know what it's. They've got Kmart guns with little like fireworks coming off the end of it. They find a wannabe Woody Harrelson in the trees, and they find another guy on a random bridge. They both know what's happening. This guy looks exactly like the old school, like 90s Colonel Sanders. It's so bad. It's so bad. And the reason what happens in this movie is that birds start suicide bombing and killing people because of global warming. It's so bad. It's so bad. Wow. If you can find a copy of this and you want to interrogate someone to get information, pop that movie in for 5 minutes. It's so bad. It's so bad. Ugh. But
hang on, one more that, again, people on Facebook are probably well aware of my opinion of this, but probably the worst movie I've seen in a while, Norm of the North.
Oh boy, it was that bad.
It was that bad. Had that just been a direct-to-video movie, I wouldn't have cared, because it's an animated cartoon made on the budget of a ham sandwich. The voice acting is terrible. They got Rob Schneider as the voice of the polar bear.
You mean they weren't going for top quality voice work for a movie they thought was going to sell well?
I don't know who decided to make this a theatrical release, but go. Leave wherever you are. You're done. You're fired from everything.
Man, from the poster, I was like, I could take my nephews to go see that. Voiced by Rob Schneider. I'll save them the pain. And I don't hate Rob Schneider, but man, lately, did anyone see Big Stan? Nothing. That's the last movie I saw him in. And I take that back, Grown Ups, but okay. Prepare for the butchering of a name. I am so sorry. I'm gonna try and answer 2 questions at once. The first one, Corey Dempsey. What is your favorite video game that Satoru Iwata actually had a hand in developing, and why? And then it goes also in hand with, oh man, this is gonna be bad. Soyvin Frederick, what is your favorite retro game? And it is Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest. He's executive producer on both of them, I believe. And it's just so good. It's all sorts of nostalgia. It's just enough to be challenging, but not enough to where you want to throw your controller at a wall. And I grew up playing it all the time with my cousins. And I believe he had something to do with the releases of Pokemon Red and Blue. So that's another big one. Mike, you got an answer for that?
The first one, was he also involved in the next generation of Pokemon too? Because
I believe he had it up until he passed. He involved a little bit with each one.
Okay, because gold, and especially silver. Silver was the one I played all the time. I think that might have actually been my first Pokemon game. I don't think I played red or blue until after. But that's how I got in, that's how I got started with the Pokemon franchise outside of the anime. But my other favorite retro game on the PS1, Crash Team Racing. I used to play that all the time with my brothers. That and all the early Crash Bandicoot games. My favorites were Time Warp. I think that was the third one, and then there was I can't forget the name of there was another like Crash Bandicoot game. It was similar to Mario Party. Let me look up the name really quick.
I was gonna say Crash Bandicoot. I thought he had a racing game. I thought that's what you were getting at.
No. Crash Team Racing was the one I already said.
Oh yeah, Crash. Oh yeah, because I'm paying attention. I thought you said that. Like Mario Party. Was it kind of like I wouldn't say PlayStation All Stars kind of thing? Because I don't know if they had something like that back then. I'm trying to think of.
What's?
Well, I will answer I will answer another question while you are looking that up. All right, what is a movie from Adam Chate? What movies would you give tens or even over tens? One movie that I would give a 10, and it is a movie that I have only watched once because I've never had someone else to watch it with, and I don't know if because it was very visceral. I felt like I could smell this movie. Was Prisoners.
Oh, that one I would give a 10 as well.
That movie ended, of course, with Jake Gyllenhaal, another one of my favorite actors, Hugh Jackman, and the master of teriology, Terrence Howard. That just, you could feel every moment of that. Seeing Hugh Jackman go to that place to play that dad, and the ending of that. That movie stopped, and when I was living with a couple of buddies of mine in an apartment complex, we rented out both sides of a duplex, and we both just sat for a good minute and a half not saying anything after that last scene. Just for anyone that knows about the end of that movie, I just cool. Whew. But the other one, because it's my second favorite movie of all time, would be The Bucket List. Is another movie that I would personally give a 10. Ooh. Cry at the end of that movie every freaking time. He says, I want to kiss the most beautiful girl in the world. And then he goes to kiss his granddaughter he didn't know he had. Oh, movie's so good. But do you find out what you were thinking of?
Oh, it was Crash Bash.
Crash Bash. Okay. I've not heard of that.
It was I think it came out in early 2000s.
Gotcha.
Let's see, movies that I gave a 10 to. Schindler's List is one that comes to mind. It's funny how this movie came out the exact same year as Jurassic Park. Two movies that could not be more different from the same director. Just visually, that movie can bring a tear to your eye, especially the scene with the little girl in the red coat.
Oh yeah. That was from Avi Sachs, by the way. Avi Sachs answered that question. Sorry, I keep forgetting to say names.
Yeah, just visually, that movie is enough to just bring a tear to your eye. Let's see, other ones that came out around that time. The Shawshank Redemption is one that kind of has to be mentioned. I'm not sure if I can say this with confidence, but that might be Morgan Freeman's best performance. And this is, aside from The Shining, which is another one I'd give a 10 to, because so far I haven't seen Green Mile, but The Shining and Shawshank Redemption are two of my all-time favorite Stephen King adaptations. And to be completely honest, I have no idea how faithful either of those are to the original source material, but I don't care. As movies on their own, they hold up extremely well.
Yes. Also, Adam Chate asked that question. I said that earlier, and I was looking at the next question I was going to ask, which is from Avi. I'm sorry, people. I had a long day at work. All right. I picked the last one, so we're running a little low. We got a couple left.
All right. Let's see. Ooh, okay. This one is actually from Avi Stocks. Best movie based off an SNL sketch.
Mine, hands down and a half, is Wayne's World. It's that and the other one I would say it's probably Night at the Roxbury, but Wayne's World started my love on top of because of my aunt for Bohemian Rhapsody. I cannot go on a road trip without singing that with everyone in my car. It is a rule that I have. And I've got one of the things I got to eat my junior year at Planet Hollywood, and we got to eat underneath the Mirthmobile.
Nice.
Oh, life made. It was so good. It's probably my favorite Dana Carvey performance. That movie's just so good. And also the part when they're with Alice Cooper in Wisconsin makes my day because I'm from Wisconsin. Milwaukee, as the natives call it. But yeah, how about you, Mike?
Before I answer my question, how do you feel about Wayne's World 2?
It's not bad. There's the one part. What is it between Garth and his girlfriend that I laugh at uncontrollably? Where he's like, "Yeah, take me, Garth. Where? It's called. What does he say? Take me, Garth. Where? I'm low on gas and you need a jacket." I'm not going to try and impersonate Dana Carvey because he's way too good as that character. But I don't mind it. Wayne Stock, it was all right. It wasn't as good as the first one, but it would take a lot for it to be it, and it didn't need to be. I thought it was all right.
It depends. Sometimes I like Wayne's World 2 better, but you just can't beat the classic.
No, you can't.
If it counts, my favorite SNL based movie. Again, if it counts, Blues Brothers.
I would say that counts.
Yeah, and even if it doesn't, it's just a damn good music movie. Like, yeah. There's a lot of just totally iconic scenes from that movie, like from the quote "We're on a mission from God" to the concert at the end, to all the car chases, which are all practical effects too. This was before CGI. Yeah. Those cars were just getting completely totaled. And it's just so fun to watch.
Yeah.
The less we have to talk about Blues Brothers 2000, the better.
I'm shocked you even wanted to mention that. Okay. We'll get the other one from Avi Socks out of the way. What is your favorite movie starring an athlete? Simon Says with Dennis Rodman. No one's heard of it because it was horrible.
Oh yeah, I've heard of Simon Says.
That movie was so bad. I liked it when I was a kid. I rewatched it recently. Oh man, there's a reason I liked it only as a kid. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in Airplane. My dad says you're horrible at defense. What other ones? Cam Neely in Dumb and Dumber. And he was even good at Dumb and Dumber 2. But Jesse Ventura in Predator. I ain't got time to bleed. Also, I think hands down one of my favorite moments, other than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, is Lance Armstrong in dodgeball. I had to give up I lost some of my testicles to cancer and all this other stuff and all this other things. He's like, but I can't remember the speech he gives him. But I'm sure you got a good excuse to quit. So good. That's all I've got.
There's probably a lot. There's probably a lot of movies that I'm just not thinking of right now that have some of the best sports cameos. This isn't a movie, but Entourage, the TV show, and I guess the movie too, had cameos like pretty much all the time from all different athletes. But I'll go
The Longest Yard.
The Longest Yard,
the newer one.
That movie's okay. That was just before Adam Sandler started going into black hole of suckage territory. Let's see. The one I'll always go back to, just for pure nostalgia, Space Jam with Michael Jordan. He's not particularly good in the movie, but I can, like, no matter what my critical brain thinks of that movie, I can just go back and watch that and just recall the memories of seeing it as a kid and just how much I loved that movie growing up.
How you knew you were a movie in the '90s when Seal sang the theme for your movie. What do we got going down?
LeBron James and John Cena in Trainwreck.
Oh,
those two just stole the show.
Mark Wahlberg. I look like the guy that ate Mark Wahlberg.
Also, John Cena pops up again in Sisters. If John Cena makes a career out of makes a career in comedy, I'd totally be all for that. If he doesn't even have to like star in a film that isn't The Marine. He just has to play bit parts. Like in Sisters or Trainwreck, like that. Like that's all I want from him, just to be like that one like minor supporting character.
If he ever became less involved with the WWE, which I don't see happening because he's their poster child, I could see him actually taking like comedic acting seriously and actually like practicing it and becoming very, very good at it.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Yeah. What else we got? I believe it's your turn.
Okay. All right. We'll take one more. This is another one from Avi. Favorite child actor or actress as of now.
All right, this is the last one. Man, I was going to say my favorite child actor. I've only got two of them. How old is Ty?
Ty Sheridan.
Ty Sheridan. How old is he?
I can look that up, but yeah, he's one that I would pick.
Ty.
He's 19 right now.
Wow, that is not at all. That is not who I'm thinking of. What? Ty Sheridan is a kid from Iron Man 3, right?
No, you're thinking
who is that? No, oh man, who's the kid from Iron Man 3?
Hold on, I got this.
His name starts with a T, doesn't it?
Yeah. Shoot, what's his name? Oh, Ty Simpkins.
Ty Simpkins, thank you. I knew it had Ty in it. Ty Simpkins. He's 14. All right, I can consider that one a child, teenage actor. The other one I was going to say is David Mazouz, I think. He plays Bruce Wayne on Gotham. He got a lot better in the second season. He's doing pretty good.
I'll have to get myself caught up with Gotham at some point, because I keep hearing season 2 is a margin, like a vast improvement over season 1.
They nailed the formula for how they want that show to be in season 2.
Like it's become more of like its kind of own identity, as opposed to a cop show that also happens to be in the DC universe.
Well, it's that, but they're treating it a lot more like a police procedural, and they're not. They even admitted their biggest issue was they were trying to catch every single person at the end of the episode. They were trying to do a Monsters of the Week type of thing, and they picked a guy, Theo Gallivan, to be like the main villain through like half of it, and they made a big, long-drawn story arc out of one character, and they just sprinkled in DC stuff when they needed to. So they figured out how they want to do it. I'll just put it that way for no spoilers for you wanting to catch up on it, but I'd say it's worth it.
All right. As far as my answer goes for favorite child actor or actress, I do agree. Ty Simpkins, that kid's going places. The other one who I'll admit I confused him with Simpkins for the longest time. The kid from Chef, his name is MJ Anthony.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, for the longest time, maybe it's because Favreau was the director and he's good friends with pretty much the entire cast of Iron Man. I thought that MJ and Ty were the same actor for a while. I'm like, these guys look so similar.
Yes.
But yeah, he really impressed me in Chef. And he's also in what's it? Krampus. He's
Krampus.
Yeah, he's one of the he's the kid who kind of like brings about the curse on the family.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. Well,
there's one more for actress.
Oh, okay.
If anyone has seen Southpaw.
Oh yes, that little girl.
Una Lawrence. That's another performance that just absolutely blew me away.
Yeah. Oh wait.
That and the girl from Tomorrowland.
Also, the daughter from Ant-Man.
Ooh.
I do not know her name, but she was so good and so precious in that movie. Oh man.
I haven't seen Room yet. I'm seeing that tomorrow, but Jacob Tremblay feels like one of those actors who will just have like a lifelong career ahead. He's got years ahead of him.
For sure, definitely. All right. I think we answered the most of them. We had a good knowledge to answer. Something you're going to have to be prepared for, guys, on these. Sometimes we might not know. You're going to see us say our own interests on the page, obviously. And if you catch something like, hey, blah, 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 Brock's really a huge fan of Zoids. I'm not just saying that. I really am. I still have this from when I was a kid. But it's if you catch something like that and you want to ask it, do not be afraid to hammer that thing with questions. We're going to try and make a post every week. We're going to switch it up. We don't know who's going to be doing it next week. But I had fun doing it.
Oh yeah, this was a blast.
Yeah. So again, be open for these. I'm Brock Emmerich. You can find me at WayneTech7 on Twitter and Geeks and Gamers on Facebook. And for future, when we do this, please don't kill me if I butcher your name. It's likely to happen.
And I'm Mike K. You can find me at Captain K42 on Twitter, and look for me in all the various Facebook pages, and check out my reviews on geeksandgamers.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the Geeks and Gamers YouTube page, and tune in for the rest of the week. On Friday, we'll have the next Arrowverse After Show posted, and over the weekend you'll hopefully have the next installment of We Are Geek, and then tune in next week for the next Ask an Admin.
I'm gonna try and pressure Jeremy into being in the next one. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm gonna try.
We can only hope.
All right. See y'all later.